So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, organizers, for the opportunity to talk about soya at this wonderful conference. Um, I don't know where to start because a lot of good things about soya has already been talked about. So I'll definitely be able to keep it within 10 minutes. Um, so this is also covered by Dr. Suresh. Year of rice, 800 million metric tons globally. 2004, year of millets we celebrated in 2023. Not so much produced, but still because of its wonderful benefits, it was called a year of millets. So year of soya, very well deserved. We all know what the benefits of soya are. 350 million metric tons globally produced. So very big crop as compared to cereals as well. Now, starting with some basics, we have different macronutrients in foods and they play different roles. We'll not go into details. And of course, ICMR has proposed a my plate for day. So you should be consuming all these 7 different food classes. But of course, I don't know how many of us strictly comply to these regulations. So what happens is dietary imbalances happen. This is already talked about. So urban and rural populations are consuming a lot of cereals and fats as compared to the pulses, milk, products, fruits, vegetables and nuts. So what this means is basically protein gap, which is also talked about. These news clips have already been shown, so I will not go into detail. There is a significant protein deficiency in Indian population. So what this means is, or where does it lead to, is protein deficiency. Now, a lot of people have also talked about the good things about consuming soya. So these are all against it. So what you can have if you don't consume proteins in adequate quantities, you can have bone loss, you can have lethargy, swelling, edema, stunted growth, reduced immunity, and all sorts of things. So how do we mitigate this? How much protein to consume? This is also talked about. 0.8 to 1 grams everyone should consume according to their body weight. But is it only about protein? No. So it's also about protein quality that we should keep in mind when we select the type of proteins. There is some good news amidst all this, that there is increase in protein intake since last few years. But this is very slow. This growth is very slow, and it has been there because of consumption of eggs, meat, fish, which are of course ideal sources of protein. Different classes of food categories that we can consume to get proteins: legumes, nuts, oils, seeds, vegetables, and of course animal products as well, like milk, chicken, fish, etc. A cost comparison that also been talked about by Dr. Suresh and few other speakers. When we compare all of these different foods that we consume and look at their costs, we see that soy has been the cheapest. So when you look at soy chunks, almost half of what we consume is proteins. Now, as we discussed, is quantity the only thing? No. So we look at different parameters like protein efficiency ratio, DIAS, PDCAS, biological value, and all of those things, which are derived from the amino acid composition and the composition of the food product. So basically, are there interferences with the anti-nutritional factors or non-nutritional carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates? How does the heat processing impact this composition? All of these things make an impact on protein efficiency ratio, DIAS, and PDCAS. There is an overview of how the different classes of plant proteins compare against each other. So as you can see, soy is on the top. The biggest challenge with using soy is, of course, the beany notes that we also talked about. But this is getting better, definitely getting better by advanced filtration techniques and fermentation technology as well. Allergen risk is also there, but it comes with other grains as well, like wheat. Repeat of the same data in numbers, I will skip this. A lot of health benefits that has already been talked about, that many of the different components help in improving cardiovascular health, menopausal symptoms get relieved, bone health, cancer prevention, muscle protein synthesis, and weight management. So a good comparison between soy and whey is also presented. Whey gets absorbed very quickly in the bloodstream, but what happens with soy is the absorption over time is slow, so it helps in developing the satiety. It also helps in weight management. And of course, it's also leading to muscle protein synthesis in the body. A lot of different fibers that are present in soybean are responsible for gut health. Composition of the soybean also discussed about already. Anti-nutritional factors, one message here which is also discussed by all the speakers is that all of them kind of go away with the processing. So a lot of them are inactivated by heat treatments or inclusion of washing treatments like isoflavones and saponins. They also are washed out during processing when you make concentrates and isolates. Therefore, you lose the yellow color to almost white, creamish white. Detailed processing of soybean seeds will not go into detail. End products can be fermented. So here you see an example of fermented tofu that Marico makes in Vietnam. This is a very unique product. So what happens is they make tofu, regular tofu, and then they ferment it with a fungus and then store it for a very, very long time. Happy to mention here that on this project we collaborated with Dr. Ratan and Mr. Sumit Agarwal as well from Bionutrients. On a similar project around byproducts, we are connecting with Mr. Kanoria as well. I'm not sure if he's here today, but yeah, just to highlight the industry academic collaborations. We also have some projects going on with NIFTEM as well on this line. This is already talked about by Dr. Sridevi, where we can get different ingredients and then these can be used for different functional properties. Hydrolysate is something very unique I'll talk about because I've worked on this for 10 years. Protein hydrolysates from soy can be used for hydrolyzed vegetable protein, goes into seasonings and many different applications. It's very much used in infant formula applications that is also being highlighted. But other than that, it is also being used in a biopharma space, which is, of course, not relevant to the conference, but they are used in cell culture proteins to make collagen structures where you can grow cultured meat. It is also used for producing biopharmaceutical medicines for human medical applications. Again, a list of what all can we do with soy. We all know already traditional soy foods, texturized soy protein. We can have plant-based dairy alternatives like soy-based beverages, meat analogs. Some of the things that we are actively developing at Marico, and some of these examples you will also see on the display. We have worked on soy chunks. Again, we are collaborating with Dr. Ratan on that. This is unique because we have done some technological interventions to come up with a very juicy and tender soya chunks. And this is mentioned on the label as well. We are working on soy noodles, khichdi kind of concept, then soya chap kind of products as well. Where all it can be consumed during the day. So these are also suggestions that can be consumed as biscuits, cookie during pre-breakfast. During breakfast, we can have options made with upma, poha, paratha, idli, dosa kind of formats. We have introduced muesli, where we also use soy as one of the ingredients to enrich it with proteins. Soya chap, mention of non-veg, so tofu-based curries as well that we have worked on. These are some of the examples that are coming up from the market that we can work on as an industry to launch more and more products in this direction. Some more technology providers that are maybe mostly abroad-based, like Improves in France, that can help us do the detailed characterization of the ingredients. We work with Buhler that helps in developing the technologies for plant protein processing. Nizo is also deep in research with proteins, plant proteins.